because they think, oh, they're expensive, they've got 2 flaps, they got, oh, there's spikes. And this is just the start of this job. Let's see how this one goes, getting rid of rats in Warrington. This one's gone on since 2012. So there we are, the manhole is up. That was quite a struggle, but look at what we got in here. This is lovely. I hope you're not having your dinner. Lots of poo. And then we've got the overflow there. But I already think, and so does Ricky, that the rats are coming out of that pipe there, up there, into that building there, where there used to be a toilet, which then, because we're in the neighbour's house, our customer is getting problems in the extension, which is attached to the top of that ridge there. The rats are getting out, maybe underneath the concrete slab, then up into the cavity wall, and then into the roof of the extension. Beautiful extension it is as well. So our first job, oh yeah, we've got to clear that out. Get on, Rick.
Getting there. Finally got it unblocked.
Let's have a
didn't
look.
take too long, but if you can see there on the right hand side of the screen, or the middle of the screen, I'll try and point to it. That right there.
Let me zoom in.
That there is one of these is the one behind you.
So that used to be.
I find it quite weird how since we found this in a pipe, literally it's become like a talking point on every job, because it's like everyone's like this. But
yeah, so that basically is what that is that we was just pointing at, and that used to go in that hole there, and that U-bend is where the water should have gone, not through the top of there.
And the other thing is, this isn't our customer's property, that is behind this, and that's where she's getting all the rat problems. Now I reckon if we go up that pipe there, it's going to just go underneath her floor in her extension, because if you look at where the soil's come from. I think it's come from in the manhole, not from upstream.
Well, or up that pipe, and then the gravel's blocked that 1965, and
but yeah, we're gonna have to get some, what they're called, litter picker, get that thing out and add it to our collection of bungs, because that one looks kind of cool. That one does. It looks like it's got some writing on it.
Because if you're fitting a rat flap yourself, you won't be able to get a rat flap in that hole. You can try, but you won't be able to. And this is why we ain't cheap, because this is a horrible job. This one's gone quite smoothly. We did 3 jobs down in London last week or the week before. Every one of them was like this, and we literally took out buckets and buckets and buckets of gravel.
30 kilos we took out.
Out of each manhole, out of three separate houses in different places.
It looks like rats jumping up onto this brick here.
Yeah.
Because if you see that there, you see that's clean there, that is literally where a little feet would sit on there.
Yeah.
To get into that little hole.
So, and then there's that one there. And there's a pipe right down there, which is amazing that any poo was coming out. Right, let's get cracking on then, Rick.
Yeah.
Unless I'm not actually in the hole.
What I tend to do now, it's going, look, you can see that's coming from the back. That's a telltale sign, that is. See all that coming up from there?
There we go.
That is years of stuff being stuck in there. You know what? I think the rats are getting out of that pipe right there.
Yeah, I just said that on the other bit of video. So we was both thinking along the same
I was
lines.
right, that's the bung. No way. So that has fell out of there because a rat has popped it out and it's caused the blockage.
Or the unscrupulous drain unblocker back in 1965, the last time this manhole was up. Oh, there's going to be some horrible shit comes out of that.
There's so much soil coming out of there. I'm amazed that anything's come out of that.
We've been brought down like a load of our receipts the other day.
So we've got the pot out. That one's a different one, I haven't seen one of them yet. And weirdly, it was cleaning that off and it's literally like soil in there. What we're going to do is we're just going to wash all this silt. Oh, is that a piece of pipe I just saw there? I think it was. Right, let's get that. I think that was a piece of pipe. Oh, yeah. That's weird. There we go. Another piece of pipe. What else have we got? Oh, another piece of... Oh, and you got splashed in the face then. So it's draining down now. It's literally made a sort of river inside it because it's been there that long. You know what's crazy? That water is literally what water's coming from down there because it's so backfilled with stuff. Let that all drain away. What we're going to do, I'm going to clear this all out off camera. I'll show you what it looks like afterwards.
Just got this pipe up here that we were just talking about. Looked like a bit trodden down. And looking there, So this bit here on the front of the camera is just where I fluffed it up with the camera, but look how smooth all that is up there. I think this might lead to something. Do you want to just give that a push, Rick? And let's have a look. Oh, I've got all covered in mud. That's a pain in the butt. Oh, there we go. Go on, carry on. We're gonna have to push the. Should have got up that with the jetter maybe first.
I can do that while.
Yeah, carry on. I think you'll be all right now. Oh, stop! Pull back. I wonder what that is. That might be an old pipe off a toilet or something, and that's the concrete we can see coming down.
No, because look, it carries on.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean there's only one pipe going into it. This would have been two separate buildings at one time.
You know what that looks like to me? It looks like someone's tapped a hole in the top of it to put a pipe in,
and then
remove the pipe afterwards, and then put cement in.
Let's see if the camera will get underneath it. Okay.
But either way, there's a brick in the end of it.
Yeah, that's a house brick.
A house brick that's been pushed into the end of it.
Right there.
Yeah, I mean, to the untrained.
Look how. If I can get a decent photo of a video of
if I
that.
put the jetter up there and clean off the lens, you'll see that.
That looks like a rat trail going up the side of that thingy. Okay, go on then.
Let's clean off the camera.
I think you've just gone past it. A bit more. Give it another clean. Try and push the camera now.
Let's put the camera there.
Oh, there's the end of the jetter.
Okay.
We want to get around this corner, don't we, if we can?
I don't think it's going to do it.
Oh, that's the bottom of the brick. So that's a brick that's been put in probably where an old toilet or sink used to be.
You know what? It looks like the beginnings of a U-bend that's been forgotten about.
And a brick's just been chucked down here.
Well,
I might have a look inside actually. Inside one of these.
Could have been one of the old toilets, but I mean, they could easily have got underneath there because this is an old construction and that's a new construction with a cavity wall. But that's definitely one problem.
Yeah, so that's one issue so far. The brick stuffed down an old U-bend.
Okay, so this is quite interesting. I've finally got all that unblocked, it's all nice and clean. The water's flowing out of there perfectly now. But what I have noticed as I've gone up this pipe is I'll try and explain what this is here. This, from here down, is where the soil that's came out of that hole has basically backfilled up the system. And then it's sat there for many years. And what's built up on the layer is limescale that's in the tap water. And all of that, all those minerals and all of that stuff has solidified on the top, creating a channel on the top of it. You can literally see the lines where I've managed to break it free. So that's going to be quite a nightmare to get broken free because the calcium is quite hard, but we're going to see if I can break it free with the camera. Right, I've now dislodged all of that crap that was in there, so there's just a bit of limescale on the sides. That's all done. We're going to get this side sorted and go next door.
This is about where 1.8 metres is away from where we had the camera just. And I think all of that damaged stuff and the brick in the pipe is somewhere underneath here. And at some point this has had a new concrete base put in. And yeah, so I think that broken pipe or potentially open pipe is literally just underneath that concrete slab. That's where our customers are having problems, in that roof just there through that dirty window. There is some more probably cavity wall, or maybe not, but that wall there will be butting up against the cavity wall of that extension with our clients, and basically that's all connected by this concrete slab and that wall. I've got the camera in that pipe there which goes this direction. We've gone past, there was one pipe coming off that way which we can't get the camera up, but it doesn't really matter because what we can see in here as we've gone a little bit further, so that pipe to the left goes that way. But look how immaculately spotless this is. Nothing's run down this for years and years and years. But look, see how there's all these bits of the dust or whatever this greyness is. The greyness is up here, but here, look, it's all gone. So I think if there's no break up there, I think there's going to be another break up that pipe going that way. But let's give it a push along there, Rick, and see what's... Let's have a look. Oh, I think I got it. Oh, maybe not. No. Got all excited then. Oh, this is the back of a U-bend. Look at the rats.
Marks. Put the camera closer.
So you can
Can you
see.
Oh, that's like so good, the quality of that photo there.
Yeah, so like I was saying on that bit before, right before I was rudely interrupted there, just pull that camera back a tiny. In fact, you know what? If I go right up onto that, look,
that
see,
is so obvious.
these are the scratch marks left by the 3 toes of the rats coming up here. Look, and they've been climbing up there for years.
Wow. You can almost make out the clay.
Will it go around that bend without the flexi head on?
If
it might
does,
do.
I'll be amazed.
Go on, you can get it up there. And here we go. There's a house
There's
brick.
the house brick. Oh, I'm actually pushing the
You're
house
pushing
brick
the house brick out of the hole. Right. Okay, let's see if we can find the other end of that then.
So 2 pipes, 2 problems.
2 pipes, 2 problems.
So can you see?
The hole?
Yeah.
Okay. If you just go in there and turn left.
Is it a big lump of wood?
Yeah.
Like a big joist kind of, big piece of timber?
I've not looked at it for about 300 years.
I was just looking at it. About 300 years. Yeah, that old really. But at least you ain't going to have to unblock your toilet again for another 50 years or so. Can you see it, Rick? And you see, this is why we always have to like kind of get neighbours involved, because little bits of information like this can make our life so much easier. We'll always get there without the information, but it just makes our job easier. So that's why we need to get the neighbours involved.
Right.
And thank you for that bit of information. So am I all right to go in there, in this bit?
Yeah.
Can I go in there and have a scout around?
I don't know what you'll find in there, and
Neither do I.
it's very congested.
Okay, no worries.
Was it just here? Was it just?
It's that big joist in the wall, I think, that it's talking about.
Oh, did it go through the hole in the wall?
What?
The sewer pipe, did it go through the wall or did it go down?
No, it went straight down.
That's weird because I can't see anything.
I think that's what he's talking about, that massive big joist through there.
I know, but I just asked him, was it through the wall or in the floor? And he said in the floor.
So there's nothing under there, I've already had a look. Unless it's under this bit here.
I've just moved that.
But it might be on, I reckon.
In fact, the tap's there. I would say the toilet was there because these houses.
There's a piece of wood there.
Yeah, I think it's in there.
Let's pull that thingy out.
You know, it's funny, if I ever had to do this in America, it'd be so much harder just because I don't know the ins and outs of how houses were built. Because I know how houses are built here, it kind of makes it a lot easier. I bet you it's underneath that.
It's underneath that piece of wood, that block.
Ah, there we go. Look at that. There's all rat holes around it. So now I've got the flash on. Hopefully you can see this. All those wood shavings have come out of that bag somewhere down there. That's the old water inlet.
There.
And you can see where they've been getting out down the back of there. So if we move that block of wood, I've got a feeling it's underneath this, I do.
Maybe.
So let's have a look.
Oh, there's another one underneath it.
Oh, there we go. And look, no way.
Brilliant.
Let's not let any of that fall in there.
That's awesome.
That is great. Oh, there's the camera, the light off the camera. No way. That's interesting. And the other thing is, see that hole now on the left-hand side, well, in the middle of the screen, but it goes round to the left. That is where rats have got underneath the concrete slab, which is this, and it's gone next door.
And I literally have just said that on the other video, haven't I?
Yeah.
So they've gone underneath that slab, underneath the next door neighbour's cavity wall, and then up through the cavities and into their loft. So this one is nearly done.
Yeah.
So, and if you'd like to join our team, we're actually thinking about starting Pest Interceptors approved pest controllers. So if you're interested in using our brand to further your business and to work alongside with us, doing smaller jobs like mouse jobs, flea jobs, bed bugs, things like that, and rat jobs, well, perhaps you should get in touch with us, because our future is massive. There's only so much we and Ricky can do. So if you want to be part of Pest Interceptors approved pest controllers, get in touch with us. Help at Pest Interceptors.
The email will be right here in the middle of the screen, so
Right there.
print screen that and write it down and send us an email.
You can even take it off the TV.
If you're serious, that is.
Yeah, don't be messing us about. We're being serious about serious business, and this is serious stuff that we do. We save people from years and years and years of stress, and it could all have been done if the pest controllers, if they've been called out, knew what they were doing and actually used their brains. So if you're a pest controller who does your jobs right, so if you're doing a mouse job, do you go straight in with poison? Don't ring me, right? If you go in there and you use traps first, you're the kind of person that I want to speak to about becoming an approved pest controller with Pest Interceptors. Well, it's a pipe that does nothing, isn't it?
And which one's that one?
So that's that one.
Okay.
So even though we can't 100% see if that's open, it might be sealed up or not, but there'll be another flap going on there. So like I always say on these videos, if you're going to put flaps in and you're going to get in this shitty filled manhole, all right, well, be careful, okay, because there's loads of germs and horribleness down there. So don't eat a bacon sandwich afterwards like I've done in the past.
It's rich coming from you. You put your torch in your mouth.
Yeah, but 17 years of doing this, I think I've become immune to rats' diseases, maybe. Who knows? Flap in there and a flap in there, because what we need to happen is for these rats that are potentially up here right now or in our neighbour's roof, we need them to come back down here, because what they were doing was jumping into there and eating the shit that was piled up there. Okay, so that's what they eat, and then they can't get back into the house once they've come here, but there'll be no shit here anyway. So, because we're going to clear it all out, get this all working the way it should done, and then back home for dinner.
Because what I think as well, the other thing is, this pipe, if we look at it, it's gone that direction over there. And now we know our customer's house, all of the extension is all brand new plumbing. We know that their stuff isn't connected into this because all the stuff goes that way, not from here, this way.
We're still going to go that way, and I think we're going to find another manhole.
Yeah, I still haven't finished cleaning it out yet. We've already found the problems. It's just crazy to think that all that soil there has been coming out of that pipe, which goes all the way to there, into that building, and the soil has come out of the concrete slab and it's made its way all the way to there and into the manhole. It's crazy. So all we've got to do is sort this out in here and then go next door, which I've got a feeling we're not going to find any problems on.
We've got a million flaps on this thing. But I don't think they're our flaps. So we can always do a little expose on all the other shit that's out there.
Yeah.
So we've gone over the overflow now, and we've got to the main sewer. And this is just a classic example. Oh shit, I want to go actually in it.
Look at how much stuff's in there.
Someone's got a blockage somewhere, haven't they?
You see how it's all mulched up?
Unless someone's got one of them thingy.
Oh, a macerator. You normally...
Well, the truth of the matter is, why I wanted to show you this was because they've had surveys done off experts yet again, and all the expert drawings said this was the end of the line. And it's not, is it? Because there's shit coming from that way and flowing that direction. So this isn't the end of the line. So yet again, the experts, full of shit, and just like that sewer, full of crap.
What I'm going to do in a bit, once I've unblocked this, is throw a bucket of water down, because I would like to move that along, because with the velocity of that, it will move along. The only problem with the camera is the flexi heads are not on it at the moment.
And it will just... Okay, well, I've seen enough down there. There's no problem between here and there.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, we'll clean that out and we'll do everything that we need to do in here, and then we'll go next door.
So I've just pulled this big block of wood from out of there that was in this hole here, look. And yet again, so that's that other pipe, look. And if I get my camera around here, let it go down there. And you can see right underneath the concrete slab, which will be joined up to this one, going underneath the concrete slab as well. And like we were saying before, you can actually see down there. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus a bit. To actually see where the rats, there's a piece of plastic fell down there and the rats have chewed through it, look. Like we said a little bit earlier, there's a hole there that goes underneath the concrete slab. There's another hole that way, going underneath the concrete slab that way. And that goes right there and into our customer's house. Whew, so how do we stop this now? Well, that's for us to know and you to find out. Watch some more videos, eh? So we're in our client's garden now, looking in one of the manholes, and you can see there's a flap that's been fitted here, but look, there's a big gap here.
Yeah, a rat can get under that.
So if you're fitting flaps, right, and please, 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 trust me, watch our other videos where we show you why all the other flaps have got failings, some of them multiple failings, where the rats can just get underneath them and go straight in, even them special double ones. If anything, that's the ones we find most of the problems with, where people have fitted those flaps because they think, oh, they're expensive, they've got two flaps, they got, oh, there's spikes, Keep it simple, stupid, right? That's the rule, okay? So our flaps, they just lift up and down, they're perfectly weighted and they do the job right. Now, this might actually be one of ours, but it hasn't been fitted properly. So it's very important that if you're fitting a flap, that you get in there and you get your phone, right? Put it on record with your flash on and go underneath like that, get someone else to flush the toilet and make sure that the flap is going up and down and it's seating as close to the bottom of the pipe as possible.
You need it to be like a millimetre, a maximum of 3 millimetre gap, which is like non-existent. That's the most I'll ever allow. Any more than that, you can cause problems or get problems.
So that's just a little bit of advice, but you can find our flaps on Amazon as well as Shopify. And just if you're going on Amazon, make sure it's one of ours. Ours has got a sticker on like this. Okay, that's ours, and it's branded Pest Interceptors, and it's a registered trademark. So don't get ripped off by something that looks the same, because they ain't the same. If they was, we'd use them. Are you videoing?
That's a 4-inch flap.
Wait. It gets better. Right, can you see my hand?
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's not one of ours.
No, it's not one of ours.
It's not.
And it's a 4-inch and a 6-inch pipe. Oh no, it's not.
I don't even know what's going on there, but that is one of the. You've seen these. They're available on Amazon as well. I mean, look at it. Look at the design here. Can we see the floor with the design? It's getting stuck open because of that stupid rivet right there. Get the flaps that work. Get the Pest Interceptors flaps. Nothing else will simply do. What a joke that is.
Let me have a look at that. That's
Have a quick look
atrocious.
at that, Rick. You'll love that.
Wow. That
It's
is.
actually hilarious.
It is.
That
Like,
someone is selling that shit.
it doesn't even open the full way, look. Never mind shutting the full way. Okay, let's try and make it actually work. See if it does work. That's crazy. It physically will not hinge. That's got to be the worst flap I've pulled out of somewhere. It's actually intriguing me how bad that is. It doesn't work. You just go forwards a bit more. Keep going forwards. And a little bit more. Stop there. So what we're looking at here is the opposite end of the U-bend. So that's where your clay pot goes in the end. And then here is where the water comes back out and into the manhole itself. So that's all perfectly fine there.
And is it filled with water, Rick?
You can just about make out the water there, the water level, so it is. I mean, you could go forwards a bit so I can say for definite. Oh, the camera's just pointing upwards for some reason. No, don't do that. You'll knock the pot off.
Okay.
Right, that's all fine.
So we've seen one terrible flap, and then we've got the ultimate terrible flap, the worst design ever. You might remember this from the video we did with Ryan, where we cured his 7-year problem. We'll put that video on the end if I can remember. Very interesting job that one was. And it took him 2 years to convince himself to come and use us, but he was so glad that he did in the end. So if we look in here, so you've got three rat flaps. In fact, I'll grab a crowbar just to show them.
Yeah.
And we know that the rats aren't getting in here because, believe me, plastic rat flaps, they'll just chew straight through it.
They would have obliterated them.
Chew straight through it. There's a little tiny spring on the top, look, they're like spring loaded. But look, I mean, like I'm hardly any putting any pressure on that. They can just lift that up. It doesn't seat right either, that one, so they can get their nose, look, just under there. And that one again is a plastic one. But the reason we know there's no rats in this sewer, sorry, in this manhole, is because the rats have just chewed holes through them and been back in your house. So don't buy a plastic one either. Buy cheap, buy loads of times. What's the saying?
Buy cheap, buy twice.
That's it, that'll do me.
I'm not sure if that's the saying. That's interesting. Have you told people about that there?
Yeah, I've told the lady, yeah.
Because there's a broken water pipe there.
Here's that video of Ryan's job and what he went through, so please enjoy that video. There's a playlist here, and here's a link if you want to get a rat-free lifetime guarantee as well.